Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another top 5 most carried video for you. This is for the month of March 2021. It's March 31st as I'm recording this, and March 31st when I will put it up. So yeah, this month was kind of interesting. Had some new stuff and a very old favorite that's kind of not that old, very old for me, who changes knives a lot, that snuck back in the rotation. And a big surprise for my number 1 most carried. And as always, I'm going to do my most worn watch at the end. I know a lot of you guys are into watches, as I am. I tried to sneak a little watch content in here and there, but not enough to upset the people. But that'll be at the end. But yeah, and I have a lot to talk about with that watch, so that'll be at the end. If you want to stop the video at that point, because you're just a knife guy, fine with me. But let's get going. As usual, these are not ranked in any particular order, except number 1. I'll point out what the most carried one was. So I guess we'll just start out with a random one here. Surprised this made the list because I've only had it for 3 weeks of the month. Well, 3 and a bit weeks of the month. 24 days of the month or something like that. But this is the new Spyderco Tenacious lightweight in the S35 VN. I've always had an affection for the Tenacious. I explained that in the video. I'm going to link to reviews of all these down below if I have them. And I've always liked the Tenacious. I'm not always a fan of the I have to do the air quotes, lightweight, because they're not really that much lighter weight when they just switch the scales from G10 to FRN and nothing else. I wish they just called them FRNs, because some people like the grippy. You don't need to call it lightweight when it's like, what, 0.2 ounces lighter or something like that. But I've always had a really good affection for the Tenacious. It's one of the first like decent knives that I owned, and it's just the ergos are great. I've always loved the design, and now it comes in S35 VN. It comes in a proper steel. $98 on these. A lot of people screamed overpriced. Spyderco is crazy, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe so, but I have one, and now I like it, and I carry it a ton. So it's just really nice. You know, the action isn't anything super fidgety to write home about. It's just running on washers, you know. But I just really enjoy, you know, having a Tenacious around again. And I really like it. It's tenaciously made its way into my pocket, I guess, quite a bit since I got it. Next up, we'll do this one. The Hinderer Eclipse 3.5 inch. This is the Southern Edges exclusive. I really like Southern Edges. They're a great company. It's cool to see them doing Hinderer exclusives now. And, you know, it's a new Hinderer, so you know I was going to have it in my pocket a lot. But this is the new Gen 2, the 3.5 inch. I never had one. Previously, I think the first one that came out was the Spanto. I'm not a Spanto fan, but this buoy I really, really do like. And I'm going to say buoy from now on. I mentioned in a video before, I say buoy, Bowie. I would go back and forth. It was pretty adamantly said it's buoy, so I'm just going to go by buoy now, just to appease everyone. I don't think that it really matters, but I'm going to say buoy. I'm also a guy who yells at people who say Porsche instead of Porsche, so I guess I should say stuff correctly. But it's breaking in really nicely. It's on the tri-way pivot. All that, the thumb stud works pretty well on it. The flipper tab, of course, works great. I got it in my favorite kind of I guess I'm going to say my favorite G10 color of Hinderer, with the black and blue two-tone. I like it a lot. They did release some of these in battle black as well. Kind of wish I'd have held out for one of those, but I do just like the plain old stonewash and on a knife that I'm just going to actually use, and this is definitely that. I also really like the way that the buoy blade looks with the Eclipse handle. I just think it looks really, really good. I think they flow well together. I think it fits well. I do really, really like it. Pretty impressed with this knife, and definitely going to be a quite long-term keeper. Just so many good things about it. I like that it's got an actual decent tip on it. I think this is one thing people don't talk about with Hinderer. They do a really good job, like their Warncliffes and the buoys and stuff still have a decent tip on them. They do a really good job of blades that normally have very dainty tips. The Hinderers don't. They do a really, really excellent job of that. So, yeah. This is going to be around for a while. Like it a whole lot. Next up, the winner of my battle of bug outs in my mind, I guess. I had past tense. I just sold it yesterday. It's in a box ready to get dropped off tomorrow. It is the Bugout 535-3, the S90V carbon fiber version. I also had, in the past, had a G10 custom shop bug out with M4 coated blade. I did sell that. I decided to keep this one. Multiple reasons. So, first of all, I'm a reviewer. It's better to have a production knife around for size comparisons and in videos and stuff. This is a production knife. You can just go buy one. My custom shop one was just custom for me. Still annoyed that Benchmade makes you get coatings if you get non-stainless steel. So my M4 blade was coated gray, so it didn't look that coated, but it's coated. It bothers me. Trust us, like they don't trust us mortals with uncoated non-stainless blades. So this one is stainless, so it's not coated. I like that better. I like the carbon fiber. I like the little pops of blue on it. I like it as a back spacer on it. So yeah, sticking with this one. I did mention in the initial video that the action was a bit stiff for a bug out. This one's breaking in really nicely. It's still not quite as drop shutty as my other one was, as I just screwed up there. But it'll get there. I'm 100% confident. If I keep carrying as much as I have been, it will be totally drop shut like my custom shop one was. And again, my custom shop one is a custom shop, but the custom shop isn't closing. I can still get another one if I want to. I didn't really feel like it was a hard to obtain knife. People said, oh, but that one was made just for you. Yeah, I can have them make another one just for me. If that makes any sense. Next up, this is an oldie but a goodie that's snuck back in again. Again, not that old, but old for me that changes knives like his underwear, I guess. I've heard that phrase before. This is the Quiet Carry Waypoint. So I got this out because they came out with the G10 version of it. This is about $295, by the way. $425 for that one, if I didn't say. And I think these are like $255. A lot for a bug out, but still pretty cool. They came out with the G10 version. I didn't get one because I had this, and I just didn't really feel the need to have two. But I saw a bunch of posts on Instagram, people getting their G10 ones, and it made me kind of grab it and carry it a day. And I put it in one of my Instagram posts, and once I had it back in my pocket again, it stuck around for a while and has come back out again. It's just a really good, slim, lightweight knife. Vanex steel, titanium, phosphor bronze washers. It's completely 100% water, rust or corrosion resistant, I guess I should say. And it's just... really like it, and kind of upset myself that I haven't carried it more than I have. It is a liner lock, but even the liner is LC200N, so still it's just totally corrosion proof, and love the very, very simple design. Very slicey, the hollow grind blade. Somebody commented on an old comparison video I did with this and something else, I don't remember what it was, and they said it can't be slicier than the whatever because the whatever is a full flat grind, and it was a Spidey chef. I think I said this was a bit slicier. It is. It's thinner behind the edge. It's very thin blade stock. It's a hollow grind, which is usually slicier. And yeah, it just is. So sorry, commenter, but it is slicier than the Spidey Chef. Spidey Chef still cuts pretty good, but it's much thicker behind the edge. And this is definitely much slicier. And that's the thing I like a lot. But yeah, so glad to have this back in the pocket again. And really, really enjoying it. And the most carried, I want to say maybe this is the first time I've had an OTF in my most carried, but it is the Ultratech, and I did not buy it to carry it exactly. I got it to use as a size comparison knife because I'm reviewing more and more automatics, more and more OTFs, and the Ultratech is kind of like, the PM2, the Spyderco PM2 of the OTF world. I felt like I should have one, and that's primarily why I got it. And I wanted to get it in a fairly simple spec, but I did get the Tanto blade because I like Tantos, and that was available at the place I was getting it from. So that's what I got. And you know what? I obviously really like it way more than I expected to. I like the slenderness of it. The blade length, the handle length, everything are excellent. The ergos are way better than I expected. I never had an Ultratech before. I've had a whole ton of Microtechs, but I didn't have like the Microtech. I just hadn't had one. And now I do, and I totally get why everybody loves them so much. It is awesome. About $280 for one of these. Not as expensive as everyone thinks, but yes, they are kind of hard to get your hands on, especially the ones that you want. And this one is broken in excellently. No worries of, the dreaded horrible Microtech thumb on this one. It's broken in very well, and it's super easy to fire and retract. So, yeah, the Ultratech was my most carried. And honestly, it was not that close. I've been carrying this thing a whole lot. Even days when I would start out the day with another knife, I often wound up just switching back to the Microtech. So there we go. Now, if all you care about is knives, you can stop watching right now. Watching, I didn't mean to make that pun. I'm not Nick Shabazz. But most worn watch of the month was my fairly new to me Seiko Turtle. This is an SRP 775 with the gilt accents on it. My favorite Nick Shabazz joke he ever made, not to mention him twice in one sentence, but he said, gilt doesn't mean that it feels bad about what it's done. It just means that it has some gold on it. So yeah, it's just got some gold accents. I really wanted a turtle. I never had one. This is not the spec that I wanted. I wanted just a plain black one or a more blue like King Turtle one. But this came up used in a deal that I just could not pass up. It was actually on, I believe, Time Teller's Discord, and it was for sale in like November for really inexpensive. I'll just say it because it's gone up. $250, and it came with no box, but it came with this really nice strap code Super O bracelet. What these go for like $400 brand new, and I was like, God, $250. There's no way he still has it. And I kind of planned on sort of catch and releasing it, getting it, seeing what the turtle was all about. I always thought the turtle was too big for my skinny little wrist, but it is not. Here, we'll put it on. Wearing last month's most worn watch, by the way, another Seiko, the Arnie. Shock, it's a Seiko. But I was assured by a couple people, no, it'll fit fine. Don't worry about it. The turtle wears much smaller than you think. I only have 6 3/4 inch, 6.5 to 6 3/4 inch wrists. It's kind of big, but it still works just fine. But really happy to have it. And I messaged the guy, and lo and behold, it was still available. So I bought it. And yeah, so I got in the turtle market pretty inexpensively, and I really do like this a ton. It's very comfortable, that nice cushion case and everything. It's a very classic looking Seiko. And honestly, I like the little bit of bougie gold on it now. I think this is, now that I've had one, this is probably the color I would have gone with. If I went into a store and tried on a bunch of them, I think this is probably the one I would have chosen, surprising myself. Very glad I got the 775, and yep, love this watch. Strap code bracelet is amazing. So comfortable. This is one of my heavier watches, but it's also like one of my most comfortable watches, which is another reason why I wear it so much. So that is it. That is my most carried and I guess worn for March of 2021. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.